been impressive so far at his time at the big league level.
This is Game 3 of a 4-game series. It'll daytime game tomorrow as the Orioles search for their first victory here in Northern Ohio with Jackson Holliday, Jordan Westburg, and Gunnar Henderson leading it off against the young right-hander in Slade Ciccone. Holliday went 1 for 4 in the setback last night while driving in a run late. And he takes the fastball off the outside corner. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Couple of hits on Monday night against Cleveland. Now 3 for 8 in the series. Ciccone out of that compact delivery. Goes off speed, misses up and away. Six for his last 17. 4-game hit streak that started in Tampa. And a big rip and a miss.
He made 4 starts for Arizona 2 years ago in his major league debut, but and wasn't bad actually. But then last year he kind of fell back a little bit with the Diamondbacks after making 13 starts. His numbers kind of ballooned a little bit. He's been much better with Cleveland.
2-2 to Jackson, and he fouls it back. Mentioned there's a lot of stock put on Ciccone this season. Cleveland invested a lot trying to get him. Josh Naylor goes to the desert. He's bashing baseballs with the Diamondbacks. It was a tough start to this season, missing the first 2 months through spring training and then the start of the year dealing with an oblique injury. This is outside with a fastball and moves the count full on the leadoff batter. Really been coveted since high school. Top pitching prospect in Florida. Scouts have raved about his arm, love his size at 6'4" and over 220 pounds. And he just missed outside with a fastball. And what a nice leadoff at bat by Jackson Holliday.
It really was. Fouled off a couple pitches and took a couple close ones. You never know what they're going to call a ball or a strike. And that was a close one there. You can see here. Go.
StatCast 3D brought to you by Google Cloud. Double play ball picked up by Ramirez at third. Schneemann on the pivot, and around the horn it goes. Jordan Westburg, after that long at bat, jumps on the first pitch and bounces into a twin killing. Well, we got a good look around the diamond. Let's go to the outfield where Stephen Kwan made 2 fantastic defensive plays last night for Cleveland, playing a ball out of the corner and off the wall. Angel Martinez, hot with the bat, very good in center field. Daniel Jones in right field. Jose Ramirez on the hot corner. Brian Rocchio, Daniel Schneemann, and Carlos Santana around the diamond. And Bo Naylor, Josh Naylor's brother, he stays in Cleveland. They were teammates for a couple of years, both at the big league level with the Guardians. He's on the back half of the battery working with Ciccone. Gunnar went 0 for 2 last night, drew a couple of walks, starts in the hole. OPS just over 800 with Henderson collecting 22 doubles, 4 triples, and 11 home runs. After the first month of the regular season, Gunnar got going. One thing with the OPS, with the average, with his ability to make good contact, hard contact, that's been pretty consistent. The one thing that's still lacking, though, is the home run total. I think that's what you fell in love with the Rookie of the Year. Last year's big home run total, all just hasn't been leaving the ballpark. Chopper towards the middle, second hop, flagged by Rocchio, long throw behind the bag at second to retire Henderson. And Ciccone facing the minimum. And last night taking advantage of walks, coming in to score 6 runs last night to take 2 of the first 4 in this 4-game series.
Coming into the series, I kept hearing about, Cleveland, they just can't hit. They just can't hit. Like, well, if you walk a bunch of guys and get behind some other guys, hitting's a little easier.
Quan towards left center field. Mullins racing back, stepping into the warning track in front of the high wall, running down out number 1. That's one of the best bolts that we've seen from Stephen Kwan, tracked down by Cedric Mullins. Colton Cowser, Cedric Mullins, Ramon Laureano, who seesaws back and forth between the corners from Game 1 to Game 3. Ramon Arias, Gunnar Henderson on the left side of the diamond. That's Gunnar tugging on his cap. Jordan Westberg on the hot corner Monday night, shifting over to play at second with Jackson Holliday DHing. Ryan O'Hearn at first base and Jacob Stallings putting down the signals for Zach Eflin in his return off the injured list. Changeup floats in for a called strike on the switch-hitting Angel Martinez. He's had a red-hot series. At even 510 at-bats with a couple of extra base hits. Cutter missed wide. It's 2 balls and no strikes, or 1 ball and 1 strike on Martinez. Eflin missed 24 days on the injured list, dealing with some lower back and a hip issue. Feeling healthy, got a couple of tune-ups down in the minors. Everybody has their battles. Everybody has to work through things. What's surprising, a couple of stints on the injured list this year with Eflin. Both most recently missing nearly a month, but then right after the bell rang, when he cut that start short in Arizona, landed on the injured list for the first time.
It's a little tougher as you get into your 30s. You start piling up innings and years, and it's tough to stay healthy as it is at any point in time, but as you get older, it becomes increasingly tough.
2-2, sails up and away. Just kind of stepping into his 30s at 31 years of age. Tony Mansolino is really hoping to see good command and execution of the pitches tonight from Eflin. Long bouncer, round under by O'Hearn. Feeds Eflin coming over, and there are 2 down.
That 30, when you get 30, 31, and I noticed myself in pitching, and I've never got hurt early on. You look into I like the way he's throwing the ball right now. It looks like he's got good movement, a little sinking action on the fastball. He's had pretty good command so far. So you just never know. And I think in the end, when you look at when you get to be 30, 31 or something like that, I got to be 30, 31, never really had any kind of injuries at all. And then once I turned 31, I couldn't stay healthy at all. I mean, I'd be healthy and go to the DL, and next thing, or at the time that was a DL, and you come back, and then with 2 weeks later, I'm like, I'm hurt again. It's just, and it was one thing after another. So these guys are in better shape now. They do keep, they're basically baseball players year round too.
Jose Ramirez, a liner sinking towards Cedric Mullins, who gets there in plenty of time to retire Ramirez and turn away the Guardians 1-2-3. One of the book. Just another beautiful night here in Cleveland, Ohio. We get started with 82-degree temperatures. Sun pouring out of the sky here early on as Ryan O'Hearn gets it started. On-time start, too, is 6:40. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ryan. Got most of the night off last night. Came off the bench, came through with a pinch hit after going 0 for 4 on Monday. Ciccone brings it home, and it's lashed right back up the middle for a base hit. No doubt Ryan O'Hearn trying to replicate what he did the first couple of months of the regular season in the back half. Drives that pitch right back up the box, and here's the hottest hitter in the lineup.
Right away, the sound was tremendous.
First home run, 425 feet to the bleachers above the high wall on left. The second, just under 400 feet. As he moved into the pole position with Cedric Mullins and Jackson Holliday for the clubhouse lead with 13 home runs. Driven out of plate, even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. There's Tony Mansolino looking on with Laureano plugged right in the middle of his lineup. Takes the slider downstairs.
With O'Hearn swinging the bat well now, like you said, pinch hit last night and base hit today. Laureano swinging the bat well. These are 2 guys that other clubs could definitely be looking at to help them down the stretch.
It is that time. We are within 1 week of Major League Baseball's trade deadline. The numbers are really difficult for what the Orioles would have to do. They would have to play elite baseball to win as many games to get into what Fangraphs, other metrics project a wild card position for them to kind of sneak in somewhere between 83 to 85 wins. Hit hard towards center field. It'll hang up for Martinez as he steps into the sunshine. Laureano is retired, and there's 1 down with 1 on. Giron, Colton, and the Orioles in. Seats are limited. Get your tickets at Orioles.com/Cowser's Corral. First pitch curveball dropped in on Colton. I mean, we see members of the pasture kind of drifting in no matter where we go.
Right.
We saw even cows down in Tampa. There's spots all over the ballpark tonight. 0-2 now on Colton. But that'll be a fun ball game every time that the corral is open in section 70 and 72. Select home games again, Orioles.com/Cowser's Corral. Colton's 1 for 8 in the series here in Cleveland. I think there's added pressure, on Colton on corral days. Well, there's some spotted cows. There we go.
He seems kind of revel in the whole thing.
Tapped away foul. It stays the ball and 2 strikes. I think if there's anybody in the clubhouse that's going to embrace having his own couple of sections, it'll be Colton Cowser. Some guys get really amped up for bobblehead days or giveaway days. Their family comes in, maybe a member of their family fires out a first pitch. 1-2. Just outside with a changeup fading away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's a great take right there. It's not that you take it and you think it's a ball. It's that the umpire has to think it's a ball as well.
Hit hard towards second. Schneeman with a long backhanded feed. Roggio had to wait on it. Cowser's got good speed, but they'll beat him with the throw from the middle of the diamond. Birds bounce into their second twin killing of
the Guardians logo here, but also the Superman logo as well. Now, Dave, this must be a mistake. They must have given me your shirt because this is an extra large. I'm not going to fit this one. I'm going to try to get a cape a little bit later. I have a fan here. I want the wind to blow the cape so I can put my hand right here and look like Superman. You think that'll work?
Wet it down, throw it in the dryer, and
it'll shrink a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've heard of shrinkage, haven't you?
It's 80 degrees outside, though.
For the shirt to pop those biceps like the Man of Steel. I can't believe you didn't throw on the T-shirt. You've been waiting on this day for a month.
I want the cape, man. I don't want a T-shirt. I have T-shirts that fit a room, that can fill up a room. I want a cape. I don't have a cape.
Did you dress up as Superman once, twice, a dozen times growing up for Halloween?
Growing up, absolutely. I thought you were talking about now.
Well, yeah, that's it.
We're not talking about that on TV.
Yeah, you act like Superman. Kyle Manzardo pops it up behind the plate, and it'll land about 4 rows deep into the section behind the screen. By the way, we've got the T-shirts up here in the broadcast booth as well. And Metropolis is the city that Superman is here to defend, and Cleveland is his hometown. And the Meteors, when he defends the ballpark in trying to save Metropolis, and there's movie props all over the ballpark here tonight. It is a full-themed event. A strike on the inside corner, and the first strikeout tonight for Zach Eflin.
Do you mind if I go find that Superman screen that they have here and take a picture?
Good fastball on the inside corner.
Nice little movement right back to the plate there. Love that one. And he got the call. That's the key.
4 up and 4 down. Nice start in the return for Zach Eflin. There's Carlos Santana, the switch hitter on the left side. 12 of his 18 extra base hits have been on the left side of the plate. This is wide with a fastball. Falls behind 2 balls and no strikes. Santana with a couple of hits on Monday night. Held hitless last night. A jackknife's out of the way. Avoiding contact with the change. Spins away, taking all the way. This is a Cleveland club right now that is red hot. It has been an ultimate turnaround from them from 2 weeks ago. where they dropped 10 in a row and now have won 10 out of the last 12 to get their record back to 500. 100 games in the book, and even 50-50 for Stephen Vogt at the helm for his second year here in Cleveland. Replacing one of the ultimate personalities in Terry Francona. Tapped weakly on the right side of the diamond. O'Hearn charges in, shovels it off on the option, and O'Hearn will kick the bag. Here's the recent stretches, and more importantly, how quickly they have turned things around. And exploded in the last 2 weeks.
Those numbers are off the charts, especially when you look at the previous 10 games where they were just, well, they were awful. And that's why they went 0-10, but they completely have turned it around in the last 12 and put up huge numbers. In the bullpen, really good as well, but they've been scoring runs. When you can put 6 runs on the board on average, your pitching doesn't even have to be that good. You're still going to win a lot of games.
Now, you get away with a lot. I think it has to be a comfortable situation if you're any member of the pitching staff, including that guy, Shane Bieber, who was coming off his rehab assignment last night about 15 miles away here in Lake County. Pitched in a single-A game, and it was the first action in 15 months for Shane Bieber, coming off of Tommy John surgery.
That's a long time to not be in a competitive situation. But I was fortunate I never had Tommy John surgery, so the minor injuries that I had I was never out for that long of a stretch.
Fastball's up and away from Eflin. This offense gets going, and it's got some veterans. It's got a nice mix of young players that are performing at a high level, and not only performing at a high level as Eflin gets squeezed and falls behind 3-1.
Big pitch right there.
They're playing with a lot of confidence right now. They're getting a little touch-up. Jeff Desjardins, longtime trainer here in Cleveland. Fouled back to move the count full. I think both ball clubs are in a position where the trade deadline arrives. It might change the shape of the Major League roster, but there are also reinforcements on the way for both these clubs. Bieber will be paramount for Cleveland. 3-2 coming. In the air, out towards Cowser. Drifts back. Edge of the warning track has it lined up with plenty of room. Great start for Zach Eflin in his return after missing the last 24 days. 6 up. To the lineup coming up for Baltimore: Ramon Arias, Cedric Mullins, and then Jacob Stallings. Ramon coming off a 2-hit performance last night. Takes a fastball on the outside corner.
Been able to get the leadoff guys on in the first 2 innings, but double plays have erased those opportunities.
And the whole 0-2. And he bounced the breaking ball well outside. Our insights from PNC Bank, brought to you by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. How about the dinner table between Ramon Arias and his brother Luis Arias, who plays for the Athletics? But elite attack angles. Major League considers 5 to 20% being good. They take it off the charts good.
That's pretty crazy that those guys are right up there like that.
I saw Ramon in the clubhouse earlier today, and I said, tell me about where you learned to hit. Who was the driving force? He said, competing. Competing is the reason that I learned to hit. I've had to hit to earn my spot. I've always been a good defender. He said, while mechanically I have evolved, my approach has never changed as a player. I said, come on, you've never changed your approach? He said, no, I've found something in my swing that I believe in, and I believe in it to the point where the results have kept me in a really good spot. So why would I tinker with too much when it comes to pitch recognition, feeling good about what I'm attacking? 1-2 to Ramon, down and away.
You can talk about all of those things, the swing, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to, swing up on it like a lot of guys are doing now? If you're trying to play all, hit all fields, and Ramon does a great job with all of that, and his approach is good. But what you said about pitch recognition, to me, that's the most important part of any hitter.
2-2 coming. That stays in tight with the backup slider.
You simply have to have the ability to recognize the difference between strikes and balls. Because if you're just trying to hit strikes, that's really, really hard to do. If you try to hit balls, it's impossible. There's just not that many Vlad Guerreros out there who are bad ball hitters. Guys that can expand the strike zone immensely and still hit for power and a high average. There's just not that many guys that can do that. So, got to be able to recognize pitches between balls and strikes. And Ramon takes a walk right there. So another leadoff guy on for the Orioles.
3 straight at bats for Baltimore with the leadoff man aboard. Started with Jackson Holliday, leadoff walk. Ryan O'Hearn's base hit. And now Arias standing at first for Cedric Mullins, who tries to bunt his way aboard. Tony Mansolino was asked about Cedric today, trying to fight through it and work on something, whether it's adjustment for mechanically, pitch recognition, to build on the point that we were just talking about with Ramon. But, he admitted right now he is searching. Hustled beyond the Cleveland dugout. No balls and 2 strikes on Mullins. But Tony brought up a really good point, too. If you look at the career, switch hitting or the traditional left-handed hitting stance that he's got now, Cedric has always been a very streaky hitter.
Confidence is so important. It's you're standing in that batter's box and you think you're seeing the ball well and you're feeling good about your swing. You're not thinking about that. You're just reacting to the pitches. That goes a long way. But if you're up there and you're not seeing it well and you're thinking about where your hands are and where I'm stepping and all those different mechanical things, you are in a heap of trouble.
Tough night at the plate last night. He struck out 4 times against the Guardians. Rips a breaking ball up the right field line, hooking into the corner. That's a fair ball. One hop up against the wall. Arias read it well. He trots into third on a ringing double from Cedric Mullins. Mullins got out in front, hooked it down the right field line, dropped it on the warning track and let it rattle around, and easily puts pressure on Ciccone of the Guardians with 2 in scoring position.
Looking at the replay here, the breaking ball, he keeps his head right down on it. He was a little out in front, but of course it was a slower breaking ball, so he's able to rip that ball down the line for the double there, and with nobody out, you're not going to send Ramon there, so second and third now with nobody out.
Double play, snuffed up the rally, and the first and the second. The infield comes in for the Guardians, and Jacob Stallings takes a fastball off the outside corner. Oh for 2 last night. Chopper towards third. Arias is coming down the line. Ramirez with a strike to the dish to get the out. On contact under the long hop. Easy catch and chuck by Jose Ramirez. Didn't get in a rundown with the throw arriving in home plate to maybe give Cedric Mullins a chance to get down to third.
Yeah, I think Cedric's got to read that a little bit better. In that case, it's on the ground, so he's got to see the third baseman. He sees Ramirez field that ball literally 10 or 12 feet in front of the bag. He can walk to third base on that.
Fielder's choice gets Stallings at first. It's a double play situation for Jackson Holliday. Pickoff move back at second, and now Mullins is hung out to dry. Rocchio to Ramirez, who applies the tag. A pair of unfortunate circumstances for the Orioles. They run into an out at the plate and then get picked off on the very next pitch.
I'm just wondering whether Cedric's thinking in his back of his mind, hey, I should have went to third on that. I'll steal third. And in the process, he just got hung out to dry there. You can see right here, he's looking like he might steal third. And they backpicked him right there, and it's not even close. So they were maybe thinking the same thing. They were like, hey, he might be looking to steal third base here, kind of make up for a little bit of a mistake there mentally that he didn't go to third on.
One-0. Out of the way at home plate.
Well, that turned to mess real quick.
First and second inning, you were worried about a double play ball, trying to avoid it for a third straight at bat. Now all of a sudden, 2 down and you're scoreless after having no outs and runners at second and third.
Well, Jackson can make us feel all better by lining something in the gap, or maybe even better, knocking one out of here.
Jackson's had good success in this ballpark. First trip in last summer, a very loud series. And he's down on strikes. Talk about jumping off the hook. Ciccone walking a razor. Orioles.com. At first base in the sunshine tonight here in Cleveland. Rob Long on the sidelines. Dave Johnson to my right. I'm Ben Wagner. Orioles in Game 3 of this 4-game series. Welcoming back Zach Eflin, who so far has retired all 6 Guardians to face him. And Daniel Schneemann will take just off the outside corner and work in front of Eflin. Schneemann, Rocchio, and Naylor. Pretty young pocket of Guardian hitters. Diving stop made by Holiday. Pops up and on to first. That's Westberg tonight at second base. That was very Holiday-esque, though.
Yeah, well, a pretty good play by Westy there. He didn't catch it, so as he knocked it down, he had the presence and the feel of where that ball was going to be. He felt it kind of was under him there. Picks it up. Got him plenty of time. Good play by Westy.
Step and a dive by Jordan Westberg, sprawling to that one, and one down.
A lot of ground balls from Zach Eflin tonight. That's good. Good sinking action.
His sinker looked better tonight. You mentioned kind of the feel of that pitch you saw early.
Yeah, sometimes, arm angle wise, and you may not feel it as a pitcher, but sometimes you can see it, that the ball just moves more laterally. It doesn't go down as much. And there's nothing wrong with that ball coming laterally, because you can use that pitch on the inside corner to lefties. We saw that already, where Zach would run that ball in and have it come back and catch the inside corner. But most of the time, you're going to want that sinking action on it, because that you can throw the ball anywhere down in the zone, whether it's in, out, down the middle, whatever. If it's going down and it's got late life, then that's very difficult for the hitters to make adjustments on. So low 90s fastball with late life sinking action going down, it's a recipe for a lot of ground balls.
1-2 to Rocchio. Lash back up the middle, glanced off the glove of Eflin. Henderson hustles in to grab it and throw out Rocchio at first base.
Whew, I just hope that hit the glove and did not hit him in the thumb. It looks like he's perfectly fine. That ball was torched.
Right back at triple digits, 100 miles an hour. Knocked the leather right to his feet.
That's gonna. I know it looked like Henderson was going to be there, but as far as that ball was hit, I don't know whether Gunnar was going to be able to get to that or not. But once he knocked it down, then good play, both of those guys. Nice.
Fastball over for a called strike on Bo Naylor. I've seen pitchers kind of lose the glove trying to catch a ball like that and have the ball then rip it off. I don't know that I've ever seen a ball just jettison it right off the fingertips like that one did.
Yeah, I thought it may have caught him in the thumb, but as he brought his glove up, I guess it just caught the webbing enough to where it just really just kind of knocked the glove off his hand.
Naylor got aboard a couple of times via the walk last night for the Guardians after 2 hits on Monday, including his 10th home run of the year.
Most of the time as a pitcher, balls hit up the middle like that, you're either ducking or throwing your glove up, and you're like, you got that reaction like, oh man, I could have had that. Meanwhile, when you look at the replay, the ball was past you by about 20 feet before you actually even got your glove up. So that was actually impressive by Eflin right there. He didn't have to move his glove a lot. It probably brought it up at maybe about a foot, but that ball was hit 100 miles per hour.
Sometimes you catch the ball, sometimes the ball catches you.
It caught him a little bit.
That's hooked to the corner and foul off the screen.
Although he was in pretty good position there. Most guys, they're falling off. There's a lot of right-handed pitchers that in that position, they've been falling off so bad, they would have got whacked with that ball. I think that line drive could have did some serious damage to somebody if it's hitting body.
Ties up Naylor, gets the strikeout. How about the return for Zach Eflin? His second strikeout tonight. And What a classic stance. I mean, there was no question whether it was grainy coming through the rabbit ears or even in HD. When you see that arm point right back at the bump, you knew who was in the batter's box.
You absolutely knew who was in that batter's box. Yeah, that's iconic there.
Briefly an Oriole, too.
Good guy.
Well, I mean, one of the best guys. Great conversationalist. Any clubhouse he's in, he's talking hitting. He's an absolute magnet when he's on the field. He's one of those guys pregame, you can't take 2 steps without somebody going up to him. Jordan Westburg goes up, drives one straight away center field. Martinez going back at the wall, leaps into the air, and it's out of his reach. Bangs off the pads as Westburg gets to second with a leadoff double. And the 4th straight at bat, the Orioles have the leadoff man on.
Hit to the deepest part of the ballpark, hit up off the wall there, so he crushed that ball. Just a matter of whether was it going to be enough to get out of the ballpark. Really good swing, head down on it. He thought, I think at that moment, he thought he got it. But you can see there, not only is it at the deepest part of the ballpark, it's a double wall there, so tough to hit it out there. But he gets the double, and as you said, here we go. 4th inning in a row. Leadoff man on.
First time the Orioles have threatened with the leadoff man getting aboard. A couple of walks and a single. Remember the other night when we were marbling at a 425-foot home run by Ramon Laureano? That ball went 425 feet and hit the high wall in center. That was a home run in 28 out of 30 ballparks. So when you think you got it,
that's why he thought that's why he thought he had it. He's like, that's about as good as bolt as you can hit, and not go out of the ballpark.
Anderson works the count to 3 balls and no strikes.
All right, Gunner, zone in right here. See if he tries to get back in the count here. Be ready.
On 3-0, short hop played it short by Rocchio, and he'll jog it over before the throw. That'll advance Westburg over to third.
Well, he's definitely going to be disappointed with that. Even though he got the runner over 3-0 count, you're looking for better results there. There you can see it. He is not happy.
That's some of the most frustration that we've seen out of Gunnar Henderson. He's seen some of that, more visual through Tampa, first couple of nights here in Cleveland as well. Tough series against the Rays, back-to-back losses here in Cleveland. O'Hearn drives it out of play. It's been a long time since the Orioles have had a difficult stretch like this. They've been playing pretty good baseball up until this point, losing 6 out of 7.
And a lot of these young players that have been here the last 2 or 3 years have been involved with, playoff teams.
The magic of 101 wins in 2023. Last year, kind of grinding, making moves over the course of the year, internally, externally, obviously, getting better for the home stretch, but then the quick exit. The 2-1 to O'Hearn. In the air out to left center field. That's hit pretty well. Kwan going back with Martinez. Reaching out. The catch is made. Tagging at third. Westburg will come in to score. Well, that got dangerous in between the Gold Glover and Stephen Kwan in left. And then Angel Martinez, the center fielder, who are still talking about it, even though the out was recorded.
I thought that they were I thought he was going to take his legs out. Kwan was going to be down. You see right here, of course, he does go down, but he actually doesn't go down until after he actually runs past Kwan. You'll see here, right here, they could have ran into each other, and then afterwards, he slides down, and Kwan's looking at him like, I was calling for it. You didn't hear me? Which happens a lot because big league ballparks, you get 25, 30,000 people in the stands. Sometimes the players don't hear each other.
Every bit of that coming to the ballpark tonight. expecting a sellout here in Cleveland. O's cash in the leadoff double from Jordan Westburg. Henderson got him to third. Sacrifice fly by Ryan O'Hearn. And Laureano cracks it to the gap in left center field. That's down for a base hit. Cut off by Martinez on a bounce, and a long single for Ramon Laureano, who's got another base hit here in Cleveland.
He continues to hit the ball hard, right on the nose. Look at this, right on it, boom. Little cutter or breaking ball or some type of off-speed pitch. Looked like it backed up a little bit, so right on it.
Stung at 106, turning around the slider by Ciccone. Runner at first and 2 down for Colton Cowser. Spins out of the way of a fastball. Off the fist, it'll float towards Kwan, who's got out number 3. Westburg's double tees up the sacrifice fly from Ryan O'Hearn. Tickets. I love the cap. My dad loves the cap. That's his everyday cap. You know how you like have a nice cap for certain events when you got to throw on something, and then you got your everyday? This is my dad's everyday cap. Stephen Kwan leading off the home 4th inning. It's 1-0 Baltimore. That's a gift for Eflin off the outside corner on Kwan. Zach's been great. 9 up and 9 down. First time through the order. He's been getting a lot of quick outs as well.
Throwing a lot of strikes. That's the key. Throw strikes early, too.
25 strikes and 42 pitches.
They will expand the strike zone the more strikes you throw.
Just off the outside edge with a 4-seamer. I like what Eflin did there. He expanded the zone early in the at-bat, tried to pick it again. Still in control with the 2-2. And out of play up the left field line.
Yeah, people will talk about that whole thing of being able to expand the strike zone a little bit, but you got to make sure they call it. They got to.
How about that? A season high in sinker usage. Something you picked up really early that it was working tonight, and Zach was feeling it on the mound.
And I just, when we saw earlier that where you look at the pitch distribution for him, I just don't think he was, this year that he really was throwing his sinker enough.
There's another one. Pitch number 8 to Quan. And he backs away, moving the count full. Of all the quick outs facing the first 9 batters, this is the longest AB of the night. And it just missed the top outside corner with a fastball.
See, I don't even like sitting on the outside corner there. And matter of fact, once you get to 2 balls, because his ball moves enough to where you just missed by 2 inches, but with a good hitter who's got a good eye like Quan, he's not going to swing at that pitch very often. So then you might throw what you would think would be the kind of almost perfect pitch. The problem is it's ball 4. But you see catchers all the time in the big leagues now. You get 2-0, 3-0, guys are sitting on the corner. It's like, look, if their command was that good that they're going to hit that spot on the corner, they probably wouldn't be 2-0 and 3-0 right now. So grab more of the plate, and then, if you're ahead and you have the opportunity to expand the strike zone, go ahead and do that. But on a 3-2 count, you can't expand the strike zone. You got to throw a strike.
Eflin chasing back the 11 stolen bases for Quan.
Many times when I was pitching with different catchers, especially if they weren't familiar with how I pitched, new guys in an organization or something like that, I'd be like, sit right down the middle. They're like, what? I'm like, sit down the middle. It's that whole chance deviation theory that Davey Johnson talked to Dave McNally about back in the 60s. It's like Dave McNally was struggling with his command, and Jim Palmer talks about this a lot. Davey Johnson called timeout, went from second base, went up there and said, hey, chance deviation theory. Try to set up down the middle. The chances are it's going to deviate one way or the other, and if it deviates 8.5 inches this way or 8.5 inches that way, it's still a strike.
Deviated right on the knuckles. Stallings won't have a chance.
So, there's something to that. I mean, if you try to throw the ball down the middle, it's probably not going to be down the middle. So, this whole thing of command, the control, and guys not being able to throw the ball over the plate. Yet, every catcher in every organization, you see it every night, every pitch down the middle. On the corner. It's like they just don't have that good enough command to do that.
Well, is it more about the catcher trying to steal strikes than it is even about the command? Out in front of the plate, that's called foul. The home plate umpire, John Bacon, screaming out that ball was foul when Stallings grabbed it in his lap.
Yeah, look, but when he caught that ball, was still foul, so I think it was a good call. Well, it is, but you're in command as a pitcher. You can see here, this angle's not terrific, but you're going to be able to see as that ball kind of goes behind, and when you see him catch the ball, he's clearly in foul territory there. Got a couple of those plays this series already. But you, as a pitcher, you tell the catcher where to sit. If he's not sitting where you want to, you can't blame it on the catcher.
2-2 coming. And it got him to chase down to the dirt. Third strikeout for Eflin.
Good breaking ball here. And that's what happens when you throw a lot of strikes. They will expand the strike zone because they're anticipating a strike. You throw a pitch that appears to be a strike, and by the time they start to swing and realize it's not a strike, you get the strikeout. Good block there, too. Keeping it in front.
Here's Jose Ramirez. Juan bluffs away from first. Ramirez gets a strike. Eflin got him on 3 pitches the first time up. Chases a curveball down to the dirt.
Yeah, I just thought that he was going to hit a home run in first at bat every game, and then that was just going to be the way it goes. But Eflin had different plans.
We're 2 for 2 seeing it. 3-run homer on Monday night, solo home run, got the Guardians offense started in their eventual win last night. And Jose Ramirez is a large reason that this Guardians club over the last 12 days has been averaging nearly 7 runs. Ripped up the right field line. That'll check in fair. Kwan's got good speed. He'll race towards third, and a stop sign thrown up. Laureano hustles it back in. A double by Jose Ramirez pins a couple in scoring position for the Guardians.
It looked like it was actually going to be a pretty good pitch. You can see Ramirez have to go down and get it. So this angle here you see, yeah, that's actually a great pitch. I mean, sometimes you just got to tip your cap and say, okay, that guy's a really good hitter, and he's locked in right now. And he was probably anticipating a breaking ball because he struck out in the first at bat. He got out on the first at bat, but with a bad swing. And I think that you look at that and you go, man, I threw a great pitch, and the guy yaks it down the line for a double.
1 down, 2 in scoring position for Kyle Manzardo, who bounces it away foul.
Because he's actually had Jose take a lot of bad swings in his first 2 at-bats, which we have not seen a lot of this series. And then he makes a great pitch that's actually down and away, and Ramirez goes out and hooks it down the line.
Juan and Ramirez have their lead. Ramirez drifting out behind Henderson. 0-1, way inside. We were chatting before the ball game about Jose Ramirez and what he does with the bat. And Stephen Vogt, the manager of the Guardians, quick to remind, he said, watch Jose on the bases. When there's a ball put in play, Jose is one of the best ball in play readers as a base runner in the game. His reaction time on a ball in the dirt, or where to position himself for a ball that is in the air, whether it's routine or not, he always finds himself having the right read. And while he is working behind the scenes in conversation and instructing guys and helping them from swings and approach, and he's also leading by example, and that's one of the things that Stephen Vogt had wanted to really drive home in his conversation today. But Zardo bounces it away fouled after getting out in front.
And he runs pretty good, and he comes out of the batter's box. When he hooked that ball down the line, it's like he was thinking 3. He wasn't thinking 2. He's thinking 3. I mean, the way he comes out of the box. And, of course, if you come out hard, and because he doesn't know at that point how the ball's going to be fielded down the line in the corner, it could get away. Kwan goes home. If there's a play at the plate, he's got to be ready to go to third right behind him. So I was impressed when I saw the replay on that, on how he actually comes out of the box and gets down the line.
Eflin looking for a strikeout. And a soft liner dumped into left center field for a base hit that'll get the Guardians in front. A bloop 2-run single by Kyle Manzardo, making it 2-1.
And there's that read by Ramirez. He had a pretty good lead with the infield in, but he had the presence and the feel to know that when that ball was hit, it wasn't hit very hard and that was going to drop in. Because the last thing you want to do is take off in that situation and have the left fielder come in and catch that ball and then double you up. He read it perfectly, and it was in no man's land.
The leadoff walk, the Ramirez double, driven home by the Manzardo single. 2-1 Guardians. You know, and just to, I guess, wrap up the point, too, you can be a good base runner without being a fast base runner.
Oh, sure.
Ramirez in the 80th percentile when it comes to sprint speed.
Yeah, one's actually got nothing to do with the other. When you start talking about good base runners, that's a feel and a knowledge of, knowing when a ball's hit, having an understanding when you're on the bases, looking around, where are the fielders, what type of speed do those guys have, when the ball comes off the bat, reading that, on how the ball's hit, how hard it's hit, where the fielders were when you took a peek, who those fielders were. Yeah.
Watching the replay, Ramirez was running before Kwan.
On that little bloop, yeah. Well, of course, he's got to take off right away or he's not going to score. And Kwan, of course, can wait, because if somebody does catch it, he can still score, hopefully, on the sack, even though the ball might be in the shorter outfield. But yeah, Quan, he can wait and walk in there. But you're right, that's the difference between the two. Quan read it to where, like, I'm not going right away because I got plenty of time to wait and see if it drops, and I'll just walk in.
It's 39 pitches through the first 3 frames for Zach Eflin. His 27th will ring up Santana. That strikeout comes a batter late.
Well, he's been real effective down. The only one that he hasn't really been effective down on, either getting strikeouts or getting bad swings and soft contact, was Ramirez, who hooked that double down the line. He's throwing the ball really well tonight.
2 down, runner at first. And that ball glances off the glove of Stallings, goes to the backstop. Manzardo trots into scoring position.
And really, the only mistake he's made is when he walked Quan. You can't walk Quan. We should have already figured that out. You can't walk him.
Wild pitch on Eflin. No, all too well. Quan was on base 5 times on Monday. Rarely strikes out. 1-0 to Nolan Jones. And Jones drives it deep out to right field. Laureano has it. He hit it well, looking to drive the 2-0, and Laureano got back quickly and pulls it in right in front of the wall. Fast forward, here we are in 2025, enjoying a beautiful night in Cleveland. Loda Reyes will lead it off. Cedric Mullins, Jacob Stallings with the Birds chasing a run. Bo Naylor a little shaken up after that strike on Ramon.
The tools of ignorance. Now the guy's throwing 100 foul tips.
Ramon walked his first time up. Starts behind 0-2, his second time. That's hit hard. And a lunging grab made by Rocchio. Moving to the backhand side, tumbling to finish the play, and robbing Ramon Arias.
That ball smoked. I mean, what a great two-strike swing. A little bit of a mistake by Ciccone, but I mean, Rocchio just stays right with it, dives it, times it perfectly. You can see here, boom. Great play.
Cedric swings and misses. Well, there you go. That might be the guy. Replaces Jose Reyes, or not Jose Reyes. I'm thinking of the Mets and Francisco Lindor, obviously. But Francisco Lindor, all those years here, now in New York with the Mets. Brian Rocchio might, after figuring it out at the beginning of the season with the bat, be here to stay at that shortstop position. 0-2. Pulled towards first and foul. Rocchio shaded towards the middle. There's the big drift. No longer the shift, no longer the triangle defense. Saw for a number of years, preventing offense. Now Naylor and Ciccone in conversation. To his pitches. And Ciccone did a self-evaluation what he was on the field, and also did a deep dive on what kind of player he was off the field. Ground ball scooped up at first by Santana. He'll jog it over to retire Cedric Mullins. And they're two away. And Ciccone admitted to adjusting his routine. He stopped playing video games after the ball game, either in the clubhouse or back in the hotel or going home. He was his own enforcer. I mean, his own mom and dad basically saying, stop the screen time late. His sleep improved. His recovery got better. He started to feel better, and then started to see better results. Slider dropped in on Jacob Stallings.
Sleep's really important. And I don't think as a young man you understand how important real sleep is and how it refreshes your body, helps heal your body. So even though they have all these different things now that we didn't have back then, and the knowledge that they have now, just because you have the knowledge and you have that information available to you doesn't mean that you take advantage of it. So with him recognizing some of those things that he needed to do in between starts, off the field, off season, what have you, yeah, sometimes those things will make a difference.
Good take by Stallings at the plate. Laid off that fastball up and in. 1-2. Got him to chase the slider. Stallings down on strikes. A 1-2-3 fit turned in by Slade Ciccone. Old Glory here at the ballpark, fluttering away in the sunshine on just an absolutely beautiful night. Temperatures in the low 80s. Not a cloud in the sky. One out to Daniel Schneemann. Evens the count. Zach Eflin trying to get it back on track. A lengthy fourth inning. Two-run single by Kyle Manzardo. The difference tonight.
He really threw well that inning. Again, the mistake was walking Quan, but threw a great pitch for the double down the line by Ramirez. He hooked it down there. Just wasn't even a strike. It was a well-located pitch down and away, off speed, and he hooked it. And then, of course, not a very hard hit ball for the base hit to score both runs.
Eflin.
Very impressive.
30 pitches in the fourth inning after 39 combined in innings 1, 2, 3. Retiring all 9 that came to the plate. Driven towards the corner. Cowser glides over, and it's well fouled. Drew French looking on. 1-2. Got him. Got him with a curveball. Strikeout number 5 for Eflin.
Been very good down. You can see here they've been chasing a lot of pitches down. There's a pitch in the strike zone a long time, and then boom, disappears. Schneemann right over top of it.
Here's Brian Rocchio. Tops the first pitch past the mound. Westberg charges in, and a quick out.
That'll work. There's one pitch out. Of course, that only happens if you throw a strike on the first pitch. Am I harping on that too much? I may be. I may be harping on that.
You sound like you made a living on the mound.
I'm just going to keep that to myself. I'm going to try to anyway. Just kick me in the shin or something if I start to say something about first pitch strikes and walking guys.
How do you feel about a swing and a miss?
I like it.
There you go. Of course you do. Counts as a first pitch strike, right?
Mm-hmm. If they don't swing, strike one.
And 0-2. Just outside with a four-seamer.
And they have 2 hits tonight against Eflin. And one was a great pitch. I mean, a great pitch. And the other one was a jam shot. It wasn't hit very hard.
Corked out of play.
That's how good he's been.
Again, 9 up and 9 down. First time through the order. The leadoff walk to Stephen Kwan. The 1-out double by Ramirez. And then consecutively the 2-run single by Manzardo. Andrew Kittredge starting to loosen up. 1-2. And tight. That's fouled away. Keeps the count level. Trying to make it happen here. And he misses low with the sweeper. Top of the card, and Kwan waiting on deck. 3-2 coming. And he popped him up on the diamond. Who's going to take charge? Everybody there. Henderson with the glove. And Eflin Gets through the fifth on 15 pitches. Retiring the Guardians 1-2-3 to the
play comes over there, you don't want it to hit a bad spot on the grass.
top of the order is Jackson Holliday. Drives it out to right field, getting to the wall. No chance to bring that one back. Holliday ties the game. Number 14 on the season for Jackson Holliday. We are tied 2-2 on the round tripper by Holliday.
Good swing there by Jackson Holliday. Tie this ball game up. Hooked it down the line. I was pretty sure it was going out. Of course, it had to make sure it was definitely going to be fair. It was a matter of whether it was going to stay high enough to get out.
New clubhouse leader in long balls, 14 on the season, and Orioles best. The 2-0 on the outside third. Twelve home runs now allowed by Ciccone this season. Swing and a miss. And remember, he missed the first month and a half of the regular season, so it's not like he's getting into the 20s like everybody else is taking the regular turn. A dozen starts, averaging one home run allowed per start.
Well, you can give up a bunch of home runs. You just got to make sure that they're not 2-run and 3-run jobs, and clearly stay away from the grand slam.
Payoff to Westbrook. Pulled towards Ramirez. High backhand handle. Quick throw. Just in time. Let's go back to the home run by Jackson Holliday.
You see there a little slider or a cutter or something. Jackson's head right down on it. Boom. Right there. Came back to the inner half of the plate. See you later.
345 feet over the wall in right field. There's a changeup low on Gunnar Henderson. Jackson now 7 for his last 19 at the plate. He's the reason we're tied at 2. Anderson battling, nobody on and 1 out. Nick Enright up in the bullpen for the Guardians. Ciccone closing in on 85 pitches. Top to the right side, the Gold Glover Santana shoveled it off quickly with Ciccone hustling over to get the second out. Well, this is what happened in between innings. Zach Eflin kind of looking on.
First baseman for the Orioles.
84 pitches, 53 strikes, and a hug by Dean Kramer. That's usually the indication that you have done your job for the night. Eflin's hanging around, though. O'Hearn with the pop-up. Ramirez streaking into foul territory. Comes back to make the catch and retire the side. Well, here in this 6th inning, everything changed for Zach Eflin. He spits the hook. Kurt Guardians after tying the game on Jackson Holliday's home run.
Yeah, beginning of the lineup here. This is important. Come in, throw strikes. Left-handers have handled pitchers pretty good so far this year, but in the end, his sinker's been really good pitch for him, and which it usually is, of course. So he's got to come in. Don't put Quan on base. Make him earn it.
Good fastball from Andrew. 1 ball and 1 strike on Quan, who worked another walk in the 4th inning. There's Jackson Holliday, who's DHing. Chatting up John Mabry. It's good when the hitter and the hitting coach smile. There are those two. I was chatting with John Mayberry before the ball game and going over, some of the laundry list of successes and up and downs and some adjustments different guys are making. And he was pretty impressed with what he has seen with Jackson Holliday and maturing that he's doing. That ball's tagged towards the gap in right center field. Run down by Laureano. What a great first step by the Oriole right fielder, making it look easy on a ball that was certainly not. Quan hit that ball hard.
Quan did hit that ball pretty hard, but as you mentioned, Laureano got a great jump on that. And experienced outfielder with some speed, they're going to make plays for you if you throw it over the plate. And even though Quan hit that ball hard, you see right here, he actually makes that play fairly easily.
Angel Martinez fouls away the first pitch from Kittredge. Off the cup into the bat, foul. That's hit high in the air out to right field. Routine after that long gallop. Laureano stays in his tracks, and there are two away. Masson Plus allows in-market Oriole fans to watch the Birds with no cable subscription or contract required. Fans can couple of outs to right field. And Jose Ramirez steps in. Ramirez had the double that set up both of the Guardians' runs. And he'll lob it out to left. Cowser's there. And a 10-pitch 1-2-3 frame of relief for Andrew Kittredge. We're through 6 in Cleveland.
He pitched better than that line because Ramirez, when he hits the double down the line, it was a really good pitch. And then he kind of a little bit of a jam shot to score the two. So That was very impressive. A great start, come back. Hopefully he can build on that on his next one.
Ramon Laureano drives it towards Martinez. And there's one down. That's how the 7th inning begins here in Cleveland tonight, as Nick Enright takes over for the starter, Slade Ciccone.
See Enright here, his first year in the big leagues. You can see he put up some pretty decent numbers there. A whip almost right there at 1. Opponent batting average 182. That gives you the confidence to throw that ball over the plate. If they're not hitting for you for a high batting average off of you, when you do throw the ball over the plate, that should mean even more so. Throw the ball over the plate even more.
A 28-year-old from Richmond, Virginia. Clears the mound, Rocchio. And there are 2 down. Enright making his second appearance of this series.
Batting down for the Orioles, number 29, Ramon Urias.
Here comes Ramon Urias. Ramon worked a walk his first time up and then absolutely robbed by Rocchio on his plunge towards the hole at short. And a fastball puts him in the hole early. "60 feet 6 inches." That's where the competition starts. Enright bounces it to the plate.
His four-seam was pretty straight from what I've seen, and I always get a kick out of people, pitching coaches and different people who deal with younger players. Or people are like, "Oh, you can't hit his fastball straight as an arrow." It's like, that doesn't mean you can't be effective if your fastball's straight. If you're locating it, if you have some deception, you have pitches coming out of your hand that look like a fastball that are not fastballs, which makes your fastball more effective. You could definitely be effective with a straight fastball. I've seen guys with a lot of movement at 93 to 95. They get whacked routinely. So movement's not everything.
There's a four-seamer at 93. Mullins out on deck. And it's in tight for ball 4. Second walk to Ramon Urias tonight. This Friday, the O's against the Rockies at Camden Yards, and you can get a floppy hat. Be part of the first 20,000 coming to the ballpark that are 21 and over. Floppy hat presented by our friends at Friday. Get your tickets at Orioles.com/tickets. Cedric doubled back in the 3rd inning. Second time up, bounce to first. Couldn't get to the fastball. It's 0-2. On the outside corner. Right on the edge. Mullins goes into the glove, and the side is retired. Park that is known as the home of Superman. The creators and the biggest fan of Superman himself posing.
A fortress.
Oh my God. Where is Clark Kent? That's the biggest smile I've seen you have since opening day.
It's been fun walking around, seeing all the Superman costumes, and people are really getting in character this today in Cleveland.
I love a good theme night at a ballpark, and this is did not disappoint at all. Manzardo with a 2-run single had the Guardians on top before Jackson Holiday tied it up at 2-2. Well, all the characters have their Superman capes on tonight. Pitch is fouled back. We mentioned the T-shirt giveaway that honored the Meteors, the baseball team in Metropolis that Superman had to defend. Again, the movie has been out for a couple of weeks, and there are so many scenes filmed right here in Cleveland.
I'm dying to find out why Superman had to defend the team.
I can't give away everything. Manzardo backs up Cowser. And there's one out here in the 7th inning. We saw the pictures and some of the footage and little comic strips of Superman's house developed by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in 1938. And there's some of the movie props out there, the cop cars, the taxis of Metropolis. I was searching high and low for the Daily Planet earlier today. Ooh, we don't want Luthor Corp. Lex Luthor's Humvee is out there. That's the bad guy. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Slider spin. Santana couldn't get to it, and it's 1-2.
I've not been able, you see the pitch arsenal there, I've not been able to quite understand why his sinker has not been as effective as it had been the last 2 years. I mean, clearly guys start to know what you're going to do, and they watch a lot of video, and they've faced you more, so that's not surprising that guys are making adjustments, but it's so good. That sinker was so good, and he doesn't just have that pitch. He does have other pitches in his arsenal. I would think that he would still be more effective with that pitch.
This year he is still using the sinker as the dominant pitch. Last year the sinker changeup combination combined for about 75%. This year sinker usage 47.6, and then about a 20% split between the changeup and the slider. 2-2.
I think he's another guy to me, throws his changeup too hard. But he does have late life on it, so if it's down, it still can be an effective pitch. Problem is, if you start to get about mid-thigh high or up, then it doesn't drop as much, so it doesn't have as much movement.
Sinker tapped away, foul. Three-2 to Santana. Bounced and smothered by O'Hearn. And they're 2 away. Right, seeing with that in-betweener.
Yeah, that's that in-betweener. You take a step, you're like, hey, I want to go get it and smother it on the short hop, and you realize I'm not going to get to it then, and it's going to catch me in between, so you just try to stay in front of it, and if it does happen to bounce away from you, then if it doesn't get away too far, maybe you can still make a play on it. Worst case scenario is knock it down, don't let it get by you going down the line.
Through the air, Mullins has it lined up, and a very speedy 1-2-3 frame of relief. Bullpen's been great tonight. 6 up, 6 down. against Hunter Gaddis. New reliever for the Guardians. And a guy that's leaned on a lot out of this Cleveland bullpen.
Yeah, overall his numbers are good, but since June 1st, his numbers are not good at all. Earned run average almost 7.
Dylan Carlson will make his return to the Orioles lineup. He's pinch hitting for Jacob Stallings. So the switch hitter on the left side. Luis Vasquez taken off the roster yesterday with Tyler O'Neill dealing with some what is described as general body soreness. So the Orioles bulked up their outfield depth and brought back Carlson. No balls and 2 strikes on Dylan. There's Tyler O'Neill. Might get into the lineup tomorrow. Tony Mansolino was asked by the reporters before the ballgame about the issue that's keeping O'Neill out of the lineup and asked if it was connected. He's been on the injured list a couple of times this year. He's had the neck thing, the shoulder thing. Those seemingly were connected, but it doesn't sound like this body soreness is connected to any of the prior injuries that he's had.
General body soreness.
1-2. That sinks low.
I'm not even really sure what to make of that general body soreness, but it's not a big deal, obviously, because he's hoping that he would be available today and then maybe even play tomorrow. So
that's ripped up the right field line, but foul. So there might be an opportunity that Tyler O'Neill could pinch hit here tonight against the Guardians. Colin Selby loosening up in the bullpen. But the O's skipper hopeful that O'Neill can get back into the lineup tomorrow. There's Tony Mansolino. Did Carlson hold up? He did not. He went around.
yeah, he knew it too, unfortunately.
Check out this list. Jackson Holliday tied the game 2-2 in the 6th inning and moves into the leaderboard with Cedric Mullins, Ramon Laureano, Ryan O'Hearn, and Gunnar Henderson. This is probably not what you thought in spring training when you were plotting out who would lead in long balls for the Birds.
No way anybody thought we were going to put up a graphic after the All-Star break and throw those names up there and have, first of all, the home run totals. We would thought that some of those guys, even a guy like Gunnar or something like that, might be approaching 20 at this point. But Jackson Holliday leading the pack, hey, good for him, but that kind of clearly shows offensively where the Orioles have fallen short this year.
Fastball zips over. Holliday in the hole, 1-2. There's Gunnar, who is still the wins above replacement leader on this Orioles club. Ramon Laureano and then Ryan O'Hearn follow suit. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jackson. There's Ramon. It just really took off in the back half of last season when he was with Atlanta. Early season injuries got him an opportunity to get more playing time. Popped out a play by Holliday over the third base dugout. But when you lose Colton Cowser right away, Tyler O'Neill spent a significant amount of time on the injured list. There's been injuries to Cedric Mullins. He's been on the injured list.
Westberg.
Jordan Westberg, too. So Laureano, because of his bat, and his outstanding defensive play for the entirety of his career. That smash towards Ramirez. He flags it. On target to retire Holiday at first base. 2 down here in the 8th.
And clearly they were expecting or hoping Kerstad was going to give us more offensively.
The struggles even have continued in AAA for Heston Kerstad. This is Jordan Westburg. A 2-2 game here in the 8th. The Guardians will have 7, 8, and 9 scheduled to come up in the home half with Schneemann, Rocchio, and Naylor. 0-1 to Westburg. Skies it towards Martinez. He's got it lined up. And that'll retire the side. So we stay locked up. 2-2. With Charm City's own Dave Johnson, I'm Ben Wagner. Third reliever tonight, Colin Selby will take over and get the 8th inning against the Guardians.
See the numbers there for Colin Selby. Opponent batting average is over 300, and not what you want. Small sample size here this year for Selby so far. He's got a good arm, good sinker right there. You see it, mid-90s with a sinker. So it's about him getting comfortable, feeling confident, keeping that ball down in the zone, get ahead.
Fastball tagged towards center, pushing Mullins back. Plenty of room out there in the triangle. Daniel Schneemann flies out, and there's one away. Remember, the Jacob Stalling started, and then Dylan Carlson pinch hit, so Alex Jackson is behind the plate. O's bullpen has been outstanding since Zach Eflin departed after 5. 1, 2, 3 in the 6th, the 7th, and so far, 1 down here in the 8th. O's bullpen retiring 7 different Guardian batters on just 24 pitches. Towards the line, Cowser won't have a play as it drops near the tarp.
They have been very good, no doubt about that, Ben, and they were not very good in the first 2 games of this series, so it's nice to see them kind of turn things around a little bit. You got a good ball game here, 2-2 in the 8th inning, so they have to be good in order to keep these Orioles in the game.
Curve glides over for a strike. And you got that guy looming, Emmanuel Clase. Locked up the save last night. Guaranteed the Guardians will get at least a split of this series. That's corked foul. And another ball, routine through the air. Cowser gets 2 away. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, exactly where the Birds want it. Gunnar Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano.
3 guys with some pop with one swing of the bat and put the Birds ahead in this game. Selby's got to get this last out here in the bottom half of the 8th.
It's the backstop, Bo Naylor. That's lined into left field for a base hit. And it'll scoot by Cowser, get all the way to the wall. Naylor loses the helmet as he jogs into scoring position with a 2-out double. He takes it the opposite way against Selby.
Pretty good swing there by Naylor. Doesn't try to pull it. See here, the pitch.
Right at somebody. Just does not strike out at all. Curveball misses low. Here's a guy that has over 2,300 career plate appearances and only 221 career strikeouts. 35 this season. That's minuscule. Fastball on the outside corner evens the count. Good pitching has slowed down this Cleveland club. Came in over the last 12 games, averaging over 6 runs. Knuckle curve low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Finally, their offense has been consistent with their pitching. You can see the returns, winning 10 out of 12. They've gotten back to the 500 mark. If it wasn't for Milwaukee, the Guardians would have been the talk of the game. 2-1 to Kwan. Line drive base hit into center field. Naylor's coming home. Mullins with the throw. Gets away from Jackson. And the Guardians take the lead on Stephen Kwan's go-ahead base hit. 3-2 Guardians here late. The 2-out double by Naylor gave Cleveland life. And Kwan cashes it in.
It's actually a pretty good throw from Mullins. It's just he kind of short hops home plate. You'll see here on the replay, the ball actually looks like it beats the runner, but because it's just a little bit up the line and it short hops him a little bit, not able to make a play there.
Kwan to second on the throw to the dish. Martinez lays off the high heater.
I mean, go figure. Naylor batting 9th, batting way under the Mendoza line, ends up lacing a double, and Kwan drives him in.
Yeah, there were a couple of stunners in this series. It was the last third of the lineup that grabbed a boatload of walks last night and propelled Cleveland to their 6-3 win. Guardians ran away with the opener, but it was the 3 home runs that built the wild night in the run column, including the 10th home run by Bo Naylor on Monday. Now that we've talked about kind of the maturation of some of these young Guardian hitters that have really opened it up offensively the last couple of weeks. Angel Martinez in the top half of the lineup probably gets more of the headlines, but Rocchio and Naylor, they've been catalysts, lengthening the lineup. Three to Martinez, and the fastball's low. And now, Drew French to the mound before Jose Ramirez gets a chance to swing.
I'm not really sure.
Back-to-back games against the O's. 1 for 3 tonight with a double and a run scored. And he gets a curveball that hits the bottom bar of the zone. Seven homers, 17 driven in, nearly a 1,300 OPS over the last 12 games. And a fastball that goes against Selby.
Good pitch. Made an excellent pitch. Grabbed the corner. Didn't get the call.
Quan, the lead runner, in the bottom part of your screen. And what a pick by Jackson.
Whew. Wow. That's just a wow. Look at this. That ball bounced 10 feet out in front of him.
2-1. Swing and a miss.
You throw a fastball that spikes out in front of the plate, 5, 6, 7 feet out in front of the plate, and then you throw that nasty cutter right there. Actually, he should be out because the one pitch he called a ball was a strike. All right, you got to make an adjustment, though. You got to come back 3-2. You really just don't want to serve it up here, though. So you got to try to make a quality pitch. Even if you walk him here, you can't give this good of a hitter just a great pitch to hit. So in the end, make a quality pitch here. If you don't get it, then go try the next guy. There are times when a walk isn't the worst thing in the world. Not a lot of times, but there are times.
Runners are going. The check swing, and he went around. Ramirez down on strikes. Selby will stop the bleeding and limit the Guardians to 1 run. Now to the 9th. Clase will come in. And coming up, Gunnar Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn. before the Guardians jumped in front by a tally in the bottom of the 8th inning. He's Dave Johnson. I'm Ben Wagner. Welcome to the broadcast booth, where we've had a really good ball game here tonight. Now it's up to the power pitching, and Emmanuel Clase coming out for the ninth if the Orioles want to rally.
Yeah, unfortunately, they ended up scoring the run there against Selby, but it's been a really good ball game. And offensively, we love to see the home run from Holiday, of course, and you're hoping that right now in the middle of the lineup they can maybe produce one more to get this game tied and take it to the bottom of the ninth inning.
Last night, the 22nd save of the year for Emmanuel Clase. Gunnar Henderson will lead it off, and he backs away from the first cutter. Gunnar 0 for 3 tonight, one hit in the series. Has been walked a couple of times. And it's 2 balls and no strikes with Clase trying to keep it down and in on Henderson.
Lock in right here.
Paints the outside third.
If you're not looking for it, you don't want to swing at that. You're looking to go the other way with something, yeah, but you're looking middle in on something, you take that pitch.
Another cutter, and it's burned and borderline that goes against Henderson. He thought it was low. Austin Hedges behind the plate, replacing Bo Naylor. Tapped away by Henderson. $30,476 at the ballpark in Cleveland tonight. That's fouled away by Henderson. No secret. 6 cutters in a row. From 2-0 to 2-2. And Henderson looks at strike 3.
Stepping in now for Baltimore, first baseman Ryan O'Hearn.
Clase stuff is just absolutely electric.
Yeah, that ball doesn't have to move very much at 99 to move off the sweet spot, so he just froze Gunnar right there.
Low liner, spirited second, underhand by Schneemann with Clase covering, and O'Hearn bounces out. Santana was ranging far to his right. Clase didn't get caught watching a good game.
Yeah, he got up the mountain really quick. Got over there in plenty of time to be able to find out where the bag is and receive that ball from the first baseman.
Down a run, here's Ramon Laureano, who's homered in back-to-back games. Ball and a strike on Ramon. Retired twice in center field and in between a 4th inning single. O's looking on. 1-1. That's called by the home plate umpire. And it's 1-2.
I was going to say something crazy like, well, let's see if we can get a hanging cutter at 99. Is there such a thing as a hanging cutter at 99? Maybe if it's like middle inner half and you're looking for it because that's the only pitch he's thrown all night.
1-2, strike 3 called. Clase comes in, retires the Orioles 1-2-3 here in the top of the 9th. Jackson Holliday solo home run that tied it into 6th. as the Birds fall a little bit short after Stephen Kwan took advantage of Bo Naylor's double, driving home the eventual winning run and a 3-2 Guardians victory. They've taken the first 3 of this 4-game series, and the Orioles will have a tight turnaround to beat back the Brooms tomorrow afternoon.
And no moral victories in Major League Baseball, but in the end, the Orioles had a pretty good ball game here. Good pitching. It's just good to see Zach Eflin pitch really well, and the bullpen actually had a pretty good night, even though they did give up the 1 run.
He went through 5 in his return to the Orioles rotation. Not enough tonight. Guardians have now won 11 out of the last 13 as they continue to roll. They're over the 500 mark, moving to 51 and 50. Guardians with a 3-2 victory tonight. Dave Johnson will have his reaction coming up on the O's Extra postgame show. I'm Ben Wagner for our great Masson crew here in Cleveland, giving away for the rest of the night to Rob Long.
Thank you very much, Wags. Guardians late rally fuels their win tonight, their 51st of the season. Zach Eflin looks sharp in his return, and Tony Mazzolino meets with the media. O's Extra postgame show is on deck.